Northern State Hospital, a mental institution just outside Sedro-Woolley, shut down decades ago. But its buildings still tell stories.
It has a very strong sense of place. So what happened when the hospital closed in 1973? The people just walked away from the whole property. It was literally just abandoned.
Mary McGoffin has personal ties to this place.
Northern State, the hospital is about 5 miles from where I was born and where I grew up. My neighbor was a psychiatrist here. I had an aunt who was a patient. Everybody I knew either worked here or knew somebody who did. I mean, it's a small town.
Northern State opened in 1913, housing and treating people considered insane by the broad standards of that time. A person could be committed for alcoholism or having epilepsy. Mary grew up exploring the trails here.
And as I was walking them, I kept thinking, what really happened here?
She began interviewing nurses, doctors, and relatives of patients and learning about the people who lived and died here.
Where most of these people lived here the rest of their lives. Some of them just died of old age.
More than 1,400 people rest in Northern State Cemetery. Only a handful of the patients' graves have markers, bearing just a number and initials.
There's also a stigma against mental illness, so families would pretty much abandon their family members, and nobody would come to claim the bodies.
But Mary wasn't interested in ghost stories. She felt patients deserved more dignity than that.
It was starting to get a reputation as a haunted hospital. And I didn't want that to be its legacy.
She tells the hospital's human stories in her book, Under the Red Roof, 100 Years at Northern State.
It's an incredible piece of Skagit County history, and these barns were once very active for all the patients that were here doing all the work that they did.
Today, the Skagit County Parks Department allows access to parts of the campus that were strictly no trespassing.
And we're just reopening something that was once there, and now it's going to be available to the public rather than the patients.
Volunteers maintained the cemetery, and Sedro-Woolley students put up a marker for the patients buried without one. Northern State will always draw the curious, but as these buildings fade away, don't come looking for ghosts. Instead, look for signs of life.
It's like the land still has memory, and I think that's what draws people here, is they're trying to get a sense of what happened. But we're trying to preserve the past because, it's just part of our history too.